his father is none other than our Honorable Chief Minister for Telangana, Sri Kalvakuntla Chandrasekhar Rao Garu. He is an Indian politician and present member of Legislative Assembly for Sirisila Assembly constituency, representing the Telangana Rashtra Samiti. He won State Assembly elections 2009, 2014 for TRS party in Sirisila constituency. He is the present IT Minister and Cabinet Minister for Panchayat Raj. He holds a bachelor's degree in microbiology from Nizam College. He has 2 postgraduate degrees. One is MSc in biotechnology from University of Pune and the other is MBA in marketing and e-commerce from Baruch College, City University of New York. Later, he worked as regional sales director at INTTRA from 2001 to 2006. Ever since he moved to India, KTR Garu started taking interest in party affairs and played an active role. He joined the TRS party full-time in the year 2006. He has been instrumental in the formation of Telangana. In the year 2014 election, he was elected to the Telangana State Assembly as MLA from Sirisila constituency in Telangana. He has been inducted into the Telangana cabinet as the Minister for IT and Panchayat Raj Affairs. His timely statements, comments and his debating skills are comparable to the best and have a lasting impression on anyone who has heard him. He is one of the most well-educated, prolific and promising young politicians of the country. He is married to Shailima and has 2 children, Himanshu and Alekia. I now please invite Sri KTR Garu to address the guests.
Thank you to IT Serve and the current President, Sudhakar Garu. Thanks Ashok and thanks to all the previous presidents and board members and all the office bearers of the past 5 years. I would also like to recognize our IT Secretary, Government of Telangana, Sri Jayesh Ranjan. He is incidentally also our Commissioner of Industries, so he wears multiple hats, so he's also our Commissioner of Industries. Thank you for the introduction. Siri, right? Yes. Siri, thank you for the introduction. I haven't achieved as much as she was actually saying, but nevertheless, thank you. A couple of things I wanted to start off with. I don't have a presentation, so let me just talk my way through. Is he going to get it? What's here? Okay, good. Anyway, nevertheless, without having to wait for that, I'll get started on a couple of things. In fact, let me just begin by asking, any non-Telugu speakers in here? Alright, okay, then I'll have to speak to English. The rest of you all speak Telugu, I would imagine. Yeah? Right, so I'll start off by saying one thing. For those of you, especially the non-Telugu speakers who don't understand what the hell is going on in India, especially with the formation of new states, I will give you one quick example. What has happened essentially is a divorce. Nothing more, nothing less. We had a bit of fight. You know, the 2 partners had a bit of a fight. We lived together for about 50 years. And then we realized the compatibility was not there. So we just basically decided to separate, move on. But then there is some little bit of properties, little bit of issues, you know, joint custody issues that there would be typically the fallout of a divorce. We do have a common capital, a capital that we share, a city that we share for the next 10 years. It is the capital of Telangana and it is an interim capital for Andhra Pradesh till they build their own capital. So as it is, while the whole state did get impacted, while the whole country watched us sparred, while the whole country actually saw us do a very heated debate, let me put it in a very politically correct way. But at the end of the day, I think it has been 11 months since the new state has come into being, both the new states of Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. And I would not be wrong if I said this, that in spite of whatever bitterness there was, in spite of whatever heated political arguments we've all had at various capacities, in various occasions, etc., but it is safe to say now, after 11 months of the new state being around, that we have proved to the world that we are mature enough to not spar after the decision is made and after 2 new states have been created. While there are issues, I do not deny that there are issues. You know, after a divorce, typically, The dust does take a little time to settle. I'm sure you would all understand. Any of you divorced here? Good for you, good for you. All of you are happily married, I would imagine, or happily bachelor, unmarried rather. Anyway, so point is, today, yes, there are some fallouts, there are some. But after the new state was formed, there would be severe repercussions, People even wanted us to believe at some point that there would be a tsunami in Hyderabad. Hussain Sagar would suddenly just flood the entire streets of Hyderabad, and people would be driven away, there would be parochialism, there would be discrimination, etc., etc., etc. But 11 months. Typically, do not go by what politicians tell you. That's what I would say. Because I was one among you until 10 months ago, so 10 years ago. Do not go by what we say, because we are very good at promising a lot of things. But actually when it comes to delivering, a lot of times politicians do fail. I agree, I confess. But in the last 11 months, the one thing, while we did not make a tall claim, while we did not make enough fuss about it, we did maintain all along that this was a mere bifurcation of the state. This was not bifurcation of people. We have always maintained that. For those of you who understand Telugu, we always said, Prantaluga Vidipodam, Prajaluga Kalsundam Cheppan. When we said this, there was still a lot of apprehensions, there was still a lot of doubts, nagging fears, etc., etc. But in the last 11 months, our practice speaks for itself. The last 11 months, in spite of all these predictions, in spite of all these apprehensions, in spite of all these unfounded fears and insecurities, there has not been a single incident, not even a stray incident, in the city of Hyderabad